Hello everyone, it's Helena Bird, and today we're going to do a little junk journaling project that is easy, accessible and fun. Hopefully relaxing too, and maybe something a little bit different from what you usually do. Before I get into the process, let me first explain what a Marginalia journaling spot is, which is the title of this video. Marginalia is simply notes written in the margins of a text. There's a very long tradition of this in literature. Maybe you've done it at school, or maybe you even have a book that you pass around your family that you all write notes in the margin. If you don't already do that, I've certainly known people do it, and it is a very cool activity. You could do it with friends as well. It does not have to be family. It could be with anybody. It could be colleagues at an academic institution that you attend. It just requires a group of people to add their notes to the margin, and then you get to read what they thought as they were reading. It's kind of cool. So how could I transport this into the junk journaling world, I asked myself. Well, I started by inking around some torn book page, because if you were doing it for real in a text, you would obviously be doing it around the margins of a book. And then I thought, well, I'll ink around that, I'll glue it down in the middle, so that's step one. And then I want to create a really pretty border. In this case, I'm using very simple tools because I want to show that it doesn't matter what you've got in your supplies, you can create this. You don't have to have anything that I have. You don't even have to have book page, really. That was just a choice. You could just have text printed off a computer. That would work just as well. So I'm colouring in the border with a block colour. Again, that's a choice. There's lots of different ways that you could make this border. You just have to have something quite plain because you're going to write over the top of it shortly. And you want your writing to stand out a little bit because that's the whole point of the Marginalia junk journaling spot. So my idea with this was that because junk journaling is quite a visual art with little writing, so usually it's a quote or a very short note that we write in our junk journals, although I'm sure it does vary, that this would be the perfect ratio of space on a page for junk journalers. You'd have your visual element in the middle, and then you'd have space around the border to write whatever you want, scribble, or even do lettering. I will show a couple of different things that I do. You could take this idea anywhere, and if there's an appetite for it in a few weeks, I will definitely do another video that's a little bit more advanced and shows some other things that you could do with this Marginalia idea. So step one is glue down the book page. Step two is colour around the border using any media that you like. So I've used acrylic pen. You could use marker, you could use watercolour, you could use acrylic paint, you could use crayon as long as you can write over the top of it, or glue words on top of it, I suppose. You don't really have to write, but it needs to be a surface that either you can write on or that you can glue words down on top of it. Now, one thing that I will just mention from a logistical point of view, and you're thinking, what could possibly be logistical about gluing down a book page and colouring around it? Well, I will tell you, there are some logistics to consider. Because I inked around this and then I went round it with the marker pen, some of the inking was lost at the edges. It was covered over by the acrylic marker. Now, I don't mind this because I really went to town with my inking, and I actually pulled the ink quite far into the book page so it would stand out. I knew I was going to go around it with a marker pen. I knew that some of the ink would be lost underneath the marker pen, and similarly, if you use paint, you probably lose some of that ink at the edges. So the way around this, if you don't want to lose any of the ink at the edges, is to colour around a thick border first and then glue down your book page. I was okay doing it this way because I'd already made an allowance by that, by adding more ink to the corners of the pages and the edges of the pages than I really needed to, so that it would still stand out after I'd been round it with the marker pen. In terms of colour palette, I went with contrasting colours, and in fact, the palette was inspired by a particular movie, which was Wicked. It was a movie that I did not expect to like at all, and I absolutely loved it. And that is what I write about on the edges of this journaling spot when I get to the writing part of the process. I absolutely love movies, and I'm not sure if there are any movie fans watching, but it's something that's been very important to me from a young age. And I was blown away by how surprising Wicked was as a movie. And that's one of the things that I love about movies is that you never know when one is going to come along that completely surprises you and completely entertains you for like over 2 hours. I think Wicked is like 2 hours and 40 minutes long, and it felt like about 10 minutes. I loved it. So in that movie, we have a green witch and a pink sort of Glinda witch, a good witch. So I went with their colouring. And right now you're about to see some absolutely top-notch drawing. I mean, this is highest art you've ever seen with a marker pen, drawing in some impressionist flowers and plants. The second plant that I draw is not a plant known to this earth. I just decided that I was going to create something completely random using the colours that I had. I wanted to switch up the way the colours were used in each spread. So I decided to go with green flowers. I'm sure there are green flowers out there, but the way I've drawn them, I mean, I've never seen flowers like these. So there you go. So again, just a reminder that art doesn't have to be difficult, complicated, or a stress factor. You can just get a pen and scribble some circles, draw some stems, and call them roses. And then if you want to, you can also get a green pen and just make up flowers that don't even exist. And what I tend to do with these things is I go around with the marker pen, and then once I've finished the drawing, I'll also go around with a black pen over the top just to add in some kind of detail. But we're using detail in the loosest term, okay? It is not really detail, it is just kind of some marks to make it stand out. And I try to make the lines as dithering and scrappy as I can, because I'm going for that kind of scrappy look to the drawing. If I'd really been thinking about it, I would have drawn the black lines where I go around with the outliner with my non-dominant hand, with my left hand, and that would have given it an even more interesting, quirky effect. I was too busy having fun with my colours, so I completely forgot that this was even an option for me, but I still like the way the little drawings came out. And for those of you thinking, those drawings are kind of a bit basic. I mean, I'm not sure if I want something like that in my journal. All I can tell you is that we've all got to adopt our own little style about what we're happy with in our journals. And, if yours is fine art, you go for that. Mine is much more impressionist and abstract. And also, I will tell you, about 6 months ago, I wouldn't have even had the confidence to draw something as rudimentary as this. So for me, this represents a huge leap forward in my artwork and in my confidence in just drawing something abstract and impressionist. I am drawing this. You don't have to. You could use stickers. You could cut something out of a magazine. You could cut something out of a book page. You could use any of the embellishments that we use in junk journaling all the time. You could put down an ink stamp and colour that in. You can do whatever you want. I am just trying to push myself to draw more regularly, even in this most rudimentary fashion. And I'm particularly pushing myself to do it on camera to get over the ridiculous fear I have of putting any kind of shapes together and saying, hey, I drew this. So I'm trying to get over that a little bit and just take it less seriously and create things rather than overthinking and freaking out over it. So that's why I'm drawing, but you could do anything. I mean, watercolour would also look lovely if you did a little watercolour piece on these book pages. So gluing down napkin, also an option. I mean, let's be honest, we all know, those of us who've been around the junk journal block a few times, know quite a few things we could use. If you're new to the craft, I've just listed about 5 or 6 things that you could use instead of drawing. So you've got plenty of things to be going on with, and it is yours. Make it yours, make it individual. So we're about to get on to the lettering. And all I'm doing in this is I got a silver pen because in the original book, Wizard of Oz, the ruby slippers are not ruby. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Those of you who read the book as a kid may remember that the slippers are silver, and this comes up in Wicked. So I chose a silver pen and I put in a quote from the movie, "Pink goes good with green." And this is a very important moment in the movie when two rivaling forces realise that actually they quite like each other and they would quite like to be friends. So I go round this junk journaling spot twice with the same quote. I don't care that I'm repeating myself, it's a cool phrase, and I'm doing some lettering practice and I'm enjoying myself. So it doesn't have to be all different lettering. I use the same phrase twice, and here I run out of space, so I put the two E's in green on top of each other. And you can do any little creative flourish like that if you run out of space or you find it difficult to fit everything in. There's lots of creative ways around that. So do think about the fact that the text, if you're writing a quote, does not have to be perfectly lettered. You can change up how you write as you go around the journaling spot. For the second journaling spot, I decided to just write in my handwriting. And I was pretty insistent that I was going to do a couple of layers of lettering. And here I'm just writing about what I thought of the movie, how it surprised me, how it made me cry, which I was not expecting, why I think it made me cry. And again, I'm doing this in the silver pen. The silver pen in my handwriting isn't that legible. That's not the point. I'm not really expecting anyone else to go back and read this. This is for me. I probably would be able to make out my own words at this point. However, by the time I've finished the piece and I've gone over it with a couple more layers of handwriting, it's not that legible. And there's a few reasons why you might want to do this. Maybe you're writing something personal that you just want to get out of your system, and you don't want anyone else to read it. And in fact, you're not necessarily interested in reading it yourself again. You just want the words out of you. This could be a really good technique where I've gone over first with the silver pen, then with a black pen, and I will show you in an image at the end that I go over it again in another colour, and I will show you what that looks like. And it is quite difficult to read the text itself. Perhaps the black is the most legible. So that's something to bear in mind if you are wanting to write something that is not very legible, that you don't want anybody else to be able to read. Using black will make it more legible. But if you use thick coloured pens, it's less likely, especially once they're all merged together, that anybody else will really be able to read it. I have reached that wonderful point in my life where I've stopped caring what anyone thinks about me. So I don't really care if somebody reads something that I've written in my journal. That's my experience and that's my life, and I'm allowed to express it. But if you are someone who is quite a private person, I would not want anybody to read what you've written in your journal. This is a good way of masking it. Another good way of masking it is to use what we call asemic writing. And if you're new to the craft, it's worth looking up some tutorials on that. But it's essentially where you write in an illegible hand. So you write the words, you know what you're writing, but you're writing them in a way that's intended that nobody else would be able to read them. It looks like old-fashioned handwriting, and you've had the benefit of getting those words out of your system, but anyone else would be hard pushed to understand what on earth you'd put on the paper. So something else to consider when you're doing these Marginalia journaling spots. As with anything, it is often the finishing touches that make a piece really special in the end. And I do add a couple of finishing touches to these pieces, which I will show you in images at the end. One thing that is also worth pointing out, in case you were wondering, I am using a much bigger piece of paper than I'll probably normally use in my journal. And I'm doing this for demonstration purposes so that you can see what's going on and that it's clear what I'm doing. You could bring this down in size as small as you wanted. You could make Marginalia journaling tags. You could make small journaling cards that were Marginalia. You could even do a Marginalia belly band where you just cut a strip of paper and write all your notes across it and glue it down each side on the page. I'm sure you could do it with pockets as well. It lends itself to pretty much anything that you want to use it for in junk journaling. I'm just showing you what a whole page looks like so you can get the basic gist and the basic idea. So some closing questions as we're heading towards our close-ups and the images of the finishing touches. What does this spark for you? What media could you use around the edges of your own junk journaling Marginalia spot? Would you use acrylic paint? Would you use watercolour? Would you use marker pen? Would you use pencil crayon? What would you use to write over? And what colour palette would best suit your identity or the themes that you're working with at the moment in your junk journal? Another question to ask yourself is, what images might serve you best at the centre over the book page? What's most going to spark your interest and your inspiration when it comes to having things to write about? And also, what kind of embellishments might you use? Will you use cutouts from book page? Will you use magazine cutouts? Will you use ink stamps? Will you draw your own? Will you use stickers? It's all up to you, and you can make this as original and personal as you want. In a moment, we're going to move to a couple of slides that show you some final changes I made and explain the difference it made to the final composition. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I hope it sparked some creative ideas for you. There'll be another video along soon. Until then, take care, and I'll see you next time.